few years ago, I was coming off of a breakup, which was caused by a lot of turmoil in my heart. I had like this come apart. I had been doing a lot of good things. I hadn't been a believer for very long, and a lot of the things I wanted, and a lot of things I was expecting to happen for being a believer just weren't happening. And I remember sitting in my room one day, and I just felt like a lie just got whispered into my head one time, where I was sitting down at my desk. I looked around, and right in my head, I heard the thought, all this time and nothing's changed. And I ate that up, and it immediately sent me into this downward fear spiral, and so where I just wasn't the same. I didn't have any energy. I was basically had like this cloud of just negativity around me wherever I went, and I was getting really depressed, and to the point where I couldn't really hold on to it myself anymore, and I had to tell somebody about it. So I reached out to my small group that I was a part of through my church. Fortunately, one guy there he knew a bunch of counselors. He said, "Hey, I know people that you can talk to maybe for some help." He gave me 5 names, and what ended up happening is only one person had an availability, and it was Rock. It was Rock Hobbs here at TM, and so I went to go meet him. We did a first intro session. We just talked, and I got to tell him a little bit about my story. And then he gave me a book called The Cure. And so I did it. I read that book, and I read the whole thing that night because I learned really early on that I didn't really have a great understanding of who Jesus really was. And I didn't understand who I really was either. I've been living a lot of in like performance and like law-oriented stuff. Do this, don't do that kind of stuff. But then I was introduced to grace. And I was just talking to Rock one day. I said, "Hey Rock, I really have this heart for this kind of people." And often that's when we say that, that's like, I have the heart for people that are going through what I went through, right? He said, "Ethan, that's so wonderful. Like, that's a great heart you have. And Jesus is gonna bring you those people. Now, when he does bring those people to you, what are you gonna tell them?" I don't know. And he goes, "Don't worry, we have a school for that." And so it's very practical stuff, it's, hey, look, why am I doing this over and over again? Why am I sabotaging myself all the time? Why are things falling apart? And you learn here at TM that a lot of it is just things that you're believing, things that you're doing. Like, you believe something deep down inside of you that is causing that action. It's the last bit of fruit from a very bad root. And I kept seeing freedom as I was like, oh, that's what that is. In a place where you can, during the week, just worship God, at the very least, is just always gonna pick up your spirit, right? And I just want to be in places where the Lord is, just exalted. Because I've grown so much, but you still see that like the core is there that I had before, but by coming to TM, I've been made aware of all the things that were keeping me from being who I was. One thing would get pulled out after another. It's like, hey, you're using that to cope for this thing that happened, or you're using that, you're going to that thing rather than me. And that could be any number of things. Even if there were simple things that you wouldn't imagine. When you stop justifying them and just start recognizing, oh, that's what's happening, that's what I'm operating out of, then you can find the freedom. Because that's where the freedom is. It's from truth, right? The truth makes you free. Like, I'm just way more affirmed in myself because I'm so much more affirmed in the Lord. And joy is possible for me now where it was not before. And it's Ethan Robbins. Transformation Ministries, not only was it just a source of healing for me, not only did it give me a place to grow, it gave me a place to be myself. It gave me a place to be among other people where I wasn't alone, a place where I could pursue what was important to me, which was the Lord, and learning more about him with other people. TM has given me all that and more. The Lord changed the trajectory of my life through Transformation Ministries. It was a God thing to get me here. It was a God thing to keep me here. I would just be in a totally different place if I hadn't been guided by the Lord's love to a place where I found such freedom.